Are you wondering if the Bricklink Designer Program sets are ones that you should invest in? In this episode, we're going to go over the Bricklink Designer Program and why they might make a good Lego investment. Hi, this is Jeremy Stark here with Brick Finds and Flips at brickflips.com. Today's show, we're going to go over the Bricklink Designer Program. It used to be called the AFOL Designer Program, which is Adult Fans of Lego. If you didn't know, it was a program that started, I think, back in 2018. That was there to meet some needs of just the adult fans of Legos, kind of their sets that they really wanted to build, and Lego kind of got behind them to build those particular sets and then release it to the community. So these have some limited productions of actual sets. So we're going to go over, to see if these are really a good investment. Before we get started though, if you could please give us a like, smash that like button. It really helps my channel grow. If you guys really like it, please give me a like. That way there, share this also with your friends as well. Also, if you could subscribe below, if you haven't subscribed to us, hit the bell so you get notified of any new videos that we do have. Also, we have a podcast called Brick Flips at brickflips.com/podcast if you wanted to check out us on the podcast. Well, now that we get that out of the way, let's get right into it. Maybe you're not sure of what this actual program is. It's a design program that was based off of the adult fans of Legos, some things that they were interested in. The thing with Lego is that they really love their fans, which is great for a toy company to get behind their fans. It really helps to build the community. It really helps to inspire like people to be creative, and Legos are very creative. That's why I like them so much. I'm a collector. I'm an investor. I love to play with them. My kids love to play with them. So, I'm a big fan of Legos itself. So to have a program like this where they really kind of delve into the community of Lego fans, especially the adult ones, they wanted to kind of come up with a almost like a contest of the best different Lego sets that people created on their own, and they wanted to put those into life and actually produce them, a small production run of them to make available for Lego fans in the community. So they're really sets that are created by different creators, and then they don't produce a lot of them for production, because Lego, they have so many sets, and for them to put one in there to produce another one, it cost them time and money and effort and everything like that. So they couldn't do a lot of them. So, but they still wanted to do it because their fans really love this. So it's a great program if you're not aware of it. They had a program in 2018. We're going to look at some of those sets and how they did it as an investment. If you were lucky enough to snag one of those back then. But I wanted to just kind of bring you up to date of where it is right now as far as in 2021. They had the first round of that went out in July. I don't remember the exact date, but they basically had a bunch of different sets. So there was seven in the first round. They had basically taken the top 5 of each one, where those are the ones that they would produce. So you had to basically invest in those sets, and then if they got enough of the funding, they would produce them in the top 5 out of those for it. So the first round was back then, and they let you get up to 5 sets for each one. They were pretty reasonably priced. Some of these sets went out really fast, like the castle one was definitely one, and then the fishing boat was also another one that went really fast. So if you didn't get there in time, you probably missed out on it. And in fact, the Bricklink group, their website actually crashed during when it first opened up. So even then there was some issues with it. But it's something that they didn't expect the real surge of fans that were interested in this. To be honest with you, I'm not too upset over it. I got some sets. I wasn't able to get everything, but that I wanted, but at least I was able to get something. But so they took some feedback from everybody, and they gave us an update. This was back at the beginning of July. This was shortly after the first round. They admitted a few different things as far as the site performance and also the limited production, which they only allowed at the first round was up to 5,000 units. I guess it was some kind of mistake that they allowed 10,000 or up to 10,000 for one of the sets. There was some kind of ordering glitch. They also, like I said, you were able to get up to 5 sets, which I guess it was upsetting to some, to some people as well, that they had the limit up so high, which I thought was kind of unusual as well, even though I would love to get 5 of them of each one. And then they also had some shipping limited to, the country service by lego.com, because they're producing them, so really they can only send it to those particular countries. So I understand that. So they had some glitch, and they at least, they came back and they gave us an update on that. They said that, it was definitely some issues with the site performance. They had a very low limit, and they wanted to increase the limit of that. They say that there was the glitch, and that's why they're doing that. But they're also going to be doing it for the next rounds. After that, they're going to have a 10,000 max that they'll produce for that. But they really weren't. They really weren't expecting this demand. And in fact, they did say that, I know as a Lego investor, we'd like to get as many sets as we can to, invest in it. But, they only said that 75% of people that purchased it only got one anyway. So it really wasn't as far as, the surge of Lego investors, there wasn't a lot in there for that. So I don't think it's really that minuscule. But, I'm happy with just getting, one or two of these sets anyways, and hopefully they'll increase that to 2 someday, but at least 1 is fine for me, and I totally understand that. But the first round, they had some glitches, so they're actually what they're gonna be doing is they're gonna be opening up the other sets, the 4 other sets. So the castle one is definitely not one that you can get in this next round. So this one right here, but these other 4, if you didn't have an opportunity to order one of these, you can order one of them, and that is going to be opening up on August 3rd. So you definitely want to be ready for that if you want to get in there and at least get one of those sets, because there's only going to be, they sold up to 5,000, so there's only going to be another 5,000. I don't know what the demand is, as far as the second rounds coming along, but I'm sure these will still sell out. As far as, these sets as an investment for your Lego portfolio, let me just start out by saying that these are really good. Anything that you can get that has a low production is something that you want to have as a collectible, is very, very, very good to invest in. We're going to look at the older sets and see kind of where they are right now and what their return on investment is. But where you're being limited to just, well, at first it was 5, but now 1 or 5 or whatever they're going to have, it's still, something that you can grab and then hold on to. These are sets that I would definitely hold on for much longer than I normally would for other sets that are mass produced. These ones I would hold on to for quite some time, at least 5 years, 4 to 5 years. Maybe they might peak out at a certain demand and supply, but the supply is really low. Now the demand side of it is that these are not going to be popular as far as, like regular customers looking for these. In fact, I couldn't even find any of the older sets on Amazon. I was only able to find them on eBay, which I totally get. They probably wouldn't have them on Amazon because the way Amazon is and how they work with that. But as far as on eBay, they if you look at their investment, what you paid for and what you're getting back now, it's okay. It's not something that that I would definitely do at scale. But let's take a look at it. So these are the 2 sets. So the first set was a Lego Lowenstein castle, and I'll show you what these look like so you can see them as well. But they had a Bricklink set number of BL19001. That's, if you go look up in Bricklink, that's the category, the catalog number that they use for it. And again, these were released in 2018. They were retired the same after that because they didn't make any more of these. So for the Lowenstein Castle, you paid $199.99, which is pretty steep price for any type of castle, but it did have a lot of pieces. I don't know the exact piece count of it. If you were to look up the set on eBay right now and what that's sold for, if you were to sell it right now, it's roughly about $900. Right in that kind of vicinity there. With shipping and everything, it might be a little bit less, a little bit more. But that's what you're looking at. So as far as an investment, now that's for if it's sealed. So if you have something that's used or something, it might be a little bit less. I didn't look up those, but as you can see in here, this one sold May, this one sold June, and this one sold July. So there were 2 in July that sold this particular one. Now that's like 1 a month, really. So I'm going to say the demand is probably very low for this type of set. That's okay for your investment, but don't expect this to be, something that sells right away when you post it up there. You might have to have this posted up there. You might have to find the right buyer for it at that time. Now, I don't remember exactly how many they produced for these. I think it was 5,000 back then too. And, where they're increasing the other ones to 10,000, there might be a need for it. But as you can tell though, the demand is going up a little bit as far as collectors going, as far as people that are interested in this type of programs, and maybe this will kickstart something else. So in the future, there could be a little bit more demand for it. But as it stands right now, there's not a huge demand, at least on eBay. Now, eBay is not a big, huge traffic site, but it's still, something that you have to look at when you're making an investment. If you were to look at the numbers in this, so if you were to sell this at $900, the fees are about 15% on eBay. They take out some other fees as well. So roughly, you're looking at about a $700 profit, somewhere in that vicinity, before fees. So that's a 350% ROI, return on your investment. That's not great, but maybe you could hold on to this a little bit longer. This is one of those things I think where if you held on to it for a lot longer and didn't open it, then you would probably get a better investment. But again, this is one of those things where it's a collectible item that's not mass produced. As you can see, the demand, at least on eBay, is not. So this is, so just so you know, on eBay, if you go and you search something, you'll check off completed and sold. That tells you what was sold, and I think it pulls back, probably the last few months of it. So if you do this without that and you just look to see what was up there, then you would see how many people are selling it when the price is that they're actually selling it, but that doesn't mean that it's sold for that price. So the other set that was in there was a Wild West Saloon set, and that went for, the retail price of that was $149.99. And if you were to sell it today, it goes for about $400, and that's, you have to factor in your shipping, your fees, and everything. So that's brand new as well. This one seems like it had a bigger demand, for this particular set, because there was a lot sold in July, and that could be just from the start of the new Bricklink designer program that could have just piqued that little interest right there, that people are actually looking for these older sets. So this might not be for the entire year of the demand for it, but if you look, even the pre-owned of it is $270, which is still pretty good for that particular piece. I guess it didn't do too bad. The demand for that one seems, a lot more than the castle. I don't know, man. I'm not a huge castle fan, so I don't know. Maybe there's so many castles up there that it just wasn't that spectacular. I'm not sure. Maybe the Saloon just seems like it's a little bit more unique. That might be a little bit more like a showcase piece. I don't know. Maybe there's something else that I just didn't see when I was looking at all this stuff for the data to find anything. But this one had definitely a higher demand, at least in this month. So maybe that's something to keep in mind. So the other ones that I really like, for the ones that are going to be available, if you can get it, I would definitely get the ship one. And I mean, I like all of them except for the bird. I got to be honest with you. I'm not really too fond of the bird. So I actually didn't get any of those ones because I didn't really care for it myself. But the other three in there, if you haven't gotten any, I would definitely look at those. I mean, you can certainly get the bird as well. But unfortunately, the castle one is not going to be available. But the other four are. I'm gonna get as many as I can if they'll allow me to get. If they allow me to get another one, I will certainly get another one. If not, then the ones that I already got were good enough for me. So really, it's just something to think about when you're investing. If this is something that you can find that is rare, it's going to be rare, and collectibles. There's not many of them produced. That's usually what brings up the value of it, but you may have to wait a lot longer than you would for most other sets. Also, guys, again, if you want to grab this profit calculator, you can get this at brickflips.com/ROI. Again, it has just profit calculations that, it's really important to have these when you're looking at an investment. You want to make sure that you have all the data as far as the financial, what you're going to be profiting on. You can add in all your fees in here as far as what the fees are in each marketplace, so you get an accurate profit and an accurate ROI. You can use that to also project what you think it would be and what the ROI would be at that point. Also, when you're getting a lot of these at different stores, you might have some tax that you have to add in there, or if there's discounts, you can do all this right in here and get the actual cost per unit if you ordered a bunch of units online. This is really helpful to do that, and it also can put in your own sales tax that you have. This is useful for other countries too if you have a particular tax that you want to put in, and it will help you figure that out as well. They also have on here is a VIP points calculator that gives you the points that you get for all your sets and just things like that as far as helping you out. It's mainly for the United States, but you can still use it for your country to figure out everything. But I'm not too certain about the cash equivalents and things because I kind of built it mainly for the US, but you can still use it. Hopefully that will help you out. So if you wanted to grab this, again, it's at brickflips.com/ROI. Well, hopefully that helped you out. If you could, please give me a like on this video. Let me know that we're making great videos for you. Also, if you could, smash that subscribe button down below and then hit the bell so you get notified of any new videos that we do have. Also, check out our podcast at brickflips.com/podcast. Well, I'll see you guys in the next show.